Hello, I'm Ron Shanley, and this is my economics project. For economics class, I have been tasked with asking a question related to economics, and then answer it to the best of my ability. I chose how being an optimist or pessimist affects your success rate in life. So let's dive in. First, let's answer the question of what an optimist and pessimist is. An optimist is someone who looks at life on the positive side of things. They tend to be more outgoing and feel like they have control over their lives. In the extreme sense, optimists can even be considered delusional, thinking things will be alright, even when, very clearly, they won't be. Pessimists, on the other hand, are people who look at the negative side of things. Where optimists see opportunities and ignore problems, pessimists might do the opposite, worrying about the problems and not considering the opportunities. This leads them to be more cautious. On the opposite side of the spectrum, pessimists often get depressed, thinking things won't be alright when they will be. Now let me ask you a question. Which side do you think you belong to? No doubt many of you will shout out, I'm an optimist, and nothing can bring me down, and then everyone else will say that they're a realist. Of course, this means that you consider yourself a pessimist. Here's the catch though. That was a trick question. Recent studies have shown that optimism and pessimism are not necessarily qualities of people, but different ways to look at life. But for argument's sake, let's ignore that and look at people as a whole, because people will lean to one side or another. So, who makes more money? I'm not going to beat around the bush. The answer is optimists. In general, people who are defined as optimists live better lives, and this shows in all areas: grades, money, and health-wise. Although interestingly, pessimists seem to live a bit longer. So all you optimists are high-fiving, cheering, and doing all those annoying things that optimists do. If it isn't obvious I'm a pessimist. But hold on a second. Even though you guys do in fact beat the pessimists, there is another group that outstrips you, and they are called realistic optimists. Now, realistic optimists tend to look at both sides of the picture. They consider the problem and challenge of life, but it doesn't deter them from taking risks. Like optimists, they feel like they can control their future, but like a pessimist, they plan for failure. These kinds of people will probably like the phrase, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So, optimists are greater than pessimists, but less than optimistic realists. However, like I said previously, people are able to switch their perception based on the task at hand. And this seems to be a very useful trait that also generates high success. So, we are going to look at what situations do you want to think like a pessimist or an optimist. First, we'll discuss the pros and cons of optimism and pessimism. Pros of optimism are willingness to take a risk, sociability, and work ethic. Cons are they tend to underprepare and they don't cope well with failure. For pessimism, they're cautious, they work with fear, and they do cope with failure. And the cons of pessimism is that sometimes they self-pity each other, once again caution, and they aren't sociable. So, in what situations do you want to be a pessimist or an optimist? You want to be optimistic when you take action, pessimistic when you plan that action. Pessimistic planning allows you for error, but optimistic action is almost always better executed. Thank you for watching and have a good day.
Created using Powtoon.